I've been asked to do a short video on how does it actually feel like to be monetized on YouTube. Well, I can tell you this much. It's a relief because getting here is, well, I'm not going to say easy because it's not. Truth to be told, it's quite the climb if you try to do it via live streaming only. Because I can tell you that I hardly ever made a standalone video in my entire journey, and that makes things that much more difficult. Because you have to treat every single stream of yours like a video you're recording live. And considering the fact that YouTube doesn't really have the tools for you to edit a video without downloading it, which means degrading the resolution immediately and editing on your computer, well, it's just problematic. And I realized that when I was doing my 24-hour streaming, when we hit 1,000 subscribers, that YouTube doesn't allow more than 12. So technically speaking, that footage was unusable even on the editing level. But that's not the problem, really. I mean, with live streaming, you cannot really stick to one particular thing because it's live. So if you don't want to bother yourself with, like I said, downloading it, cutting it to pieces and re-uploading it, well, whatever you get via your live stream, that's it. Because, without being specific and, providing some educational value, yeah, well, that's gonna be the end of that video. Yeah, you recorded live, but since it doesn't specify what the video is actually about, yeah, good luck with that. So if I could give you an advice, if you have the means to record it as you stream, do it. Because, for example, when you play through a game, you can divide that stream into particular missions or quests, whatever, and then re-upload those as standalone videos. If you don't want to lose, the resolution, because YouTube still doesn't allow to download full resolution unless you have YouTube Premium. I think if you have that, it's actually possible. Well, if you don't want to pay for it, that's immediately 720p when you download your video. And that takes time, bandwidth, whatnot, you name it. I wouldn't personally go for it. I would rather, record the live stream on my PC. If you happen to have a dual PC setup, good for you. If not, well, it's all down to your hardware. Speaking of the subject of the live streams / live videos, you really have to pick your niche on YouTube. It might take forever to find, but you have to do your homework on this one because, like I said, live streams are live streams, and YouTube is still not a primarily live streaming platform. So unless you pick the right game, the chances of being seen, I'm not saying zero, but it's significantly diminished on returns. For example, I can play Call of Duty all day long, but it's so oversaturated that, I might get a couple of views, but that will amount to no watch time. And if you want to get partnered on YouTube, you have to think forward. And in my personal example, for watch time, a couple of games worked really well. If you want to try it, you're more than welcome. Although it's technically speaking dead, but Assassin's Creed worked like a charm. I mean, I picked up more than 500 subscribers with Assassin's Creed alone. And it's not the most popular thing ever. Sure, I almost played through the entire franchise by the time it started picking up, but it worked. The second was God of War, mainly because my timing was kind of fortunate. because God of War Ragnarok just came out when I was doing a New Game Plus playthrough on God of War. So yeah, that immediately resulted in 700 hours on that particular stream. The other one, Ghost of Tsushima, also worked like a charm. But like I said, these are all live streams. So it can work as long as you pick the right game. The lifespan of those videos, unless you really tap into a certain community, is extremely short. I literally deleted hundreds of videos when I was getting my channel ready for my YouTube partner application, and none of those videos had a single view in a year and a half. I mean, those I deleted. And that just shows that although with live streaming you can get to the point of monetizing your channel, it's still just live streaming. The only difference between Twitch and YouTube on this particular aspect is that YouTube doesn't delete your videos. But when it comes to live streaming, YouTube behaves exactly the same way. Sometimes you might end up being lucky and some of your past streams get picked up, such as one I did in Assassin's Creed Valhalla that banked 762 watch hours. One stream. Mind you, right now you need 3,000 watch hours to and 500 subs to get into the YouTube partner program. So if you manage to land 3 well-performing videos, then you're pretty much set for success. But as I mentioned multiple times, it has to be the right kind of game. If you play stuff that's like literally no one gives a fat red sauce about, then you're not going to get anything out of it. Sometimes you have to gamble. I mean, for me, Assassin's Creed was a huge gamble because I literally started from the not the very first, because my PC is just too advanced to even run the damn thing. But from Assassin's Creed 2 all the way up to Assassin's Creed Valhalla, I played through the entire franchise. We're talking about hundreds of hours of gameplay to get to the point that I was, getting 10, 15 viewers on average each stream. Yeah, it was a mistake moving away from that, but we'll talk about that later. What's live streaming makes you struggle with is getting subscribers. Because if you tap into such a franchise as Assassin's Creed, for that example, it's a very, very narrow audience. It's very narrow and bloody difficult to convince people to subscribe. I still got 500 subscribers with that franchise. It took a whole eternity to get that 500. Now it's enough because YouTube changed the rules, but back then I moved away from Assassin's Creed because I felt I am going nowhere. And that's where YouTube Shorts come in. As always, if you work with the right game, then it's an instant shortcut to subscribers. Mind you, I'm genuinely a terrible Call of Duty player, but sometimes I have great, or sort of good moments, and turning those into YouTube Shorts literally brought another 542 new subscribers to the fold. So don't ignore shorts, even if you just clip a funny moment or whatever in your gameplay. Just try to utilize the entire stream, and don't forget to link back to the full stream, because, well, not many people actually give a damn about descriptions under YouTube Shorts. But if they do, in that case, you might actually get some watch time out of it, because watch time from YouTube Shorts still doesn't count. Although you can get to the monetization level with 3 million views, still way too much. But whatever watch time you get out of those shorts, that's not gonna help you. And you know, 3,000 hours is still 3,000 hours. Yeah, 4,000 if you want ad revenue as well, but you get not a single minute out of YouTube Shorts. And also consistency. If something starts working and you see and know it's working, don't stray. Because if you turn your back on your audience by simply just, oh, I'm bored of this and moving on, chances are you lose those people entirely. And I learned that on my own skin when I switched from Assassin's Creed, because all of a sudden I'm nowhere near my usual statistics regarding watch time. It's kind of a fake it till you make it type of advice, but it's the end goal that matters. And it might feel like a compromise, because it is, but sometimes you just have to bite the bullet. You have to bite the bullet and stick with whatever works, even if it means that you're playing a game that's not entirely your favorite. Now, I have to say though that if you hate a game, then there's no point, because it will eventually burn you out. Same thing happened with me and Call of Duty. I mean, I still have a significantly better success rate with Call of Duty Shorts than with anything else, but creating those videos takes its toll. So you kind of have to keep that in mind when you're choosing your game, that can you actually stick to it for months, even years, without feeling completely spent. That's really something you have to think about when you're picking a game. That leads to our next talking point, and that's the amount of time you spend on streaming, because it's really easy to fall onto the other side of the horse and overdo it. And when just to reach those requirements starts affecting your personal life, yeah, that's when you really have to take a step back. Because if you don't, it would just affect your mental state in a way that it's just not worth it. Take your time, plan forward, pick the right game that doesn't drive you crazy, Call of Duty, and just take it slow. Because the thing is, if you just keep pushing it, you might get the hours, but at the end of the day, even if you get there, it's not going to feel, great. You're just like, thank fuck, it's over. And it's just not worth doing it like that. You can treat YouTube as a business, and you probably should if you want to make something out of it. But when you start off, it should be only a hobby, and spend only the time on creating content that you can actually afford to spend. But if you start doing more and more, that will not eventually mean that you will have success much quicker. It's always down to the viewer, and it's just partially the algorithm. And if that actually comes at a cost if you just keep shitting content all over YouTube, especially with YouTube Shorts. Because if you just keep unloading dozens on the same day, the algorithm might pick that up as you trying to spam the system, and yeah, that's when you get that phenomenon I had a couple of times, that I had 10 videos uploaded and one started performing decent, and the rest just landed with 0 views for the rest of the day. So try to keep a healthy balance between streaming and your personal stuff. Take care of yourself. If you feel knackered and you don't feel like doing the next stream, take a day off. No one's gonna bite your head off because you're tired. So, like I said, no one takes better care of you than yourself. Don't overdo it. It's just not worth breaking yourself over whatever achievement you try to get under your belt. Whether it's getting partnered up or having high CCV, doesn't matter. On that part, take care of how your streams are set up, especially titles and descriptions. It might not sound important as you're trying to get to that 3,000 watch hours and 500 subs. But believe you me, if you neglect that part, it will come around and bite you in the ass. I literally spent an entire day going through 1,200 videos, both past streams and uploaded content, to get rid of all the things that were like textbook examples why YouTube would deny my application. And you don't want that. You definitely don't want that. It's a waste of time, and you can take care of it as and when you start your live stream. Probably even after that. And that's true of thumbnails as well. It might sound convenient to use the same thumbnail you edited and just upload to every stream. But at the end of the day, YouTube can still see that as repetitious content, and that's a no-no if you apply for partnership. Try not to come up with an act. I know it works like a charm for people like Dr. Disrespect, but we are not on the same level. If you're a good actor, go for it. But if you have to invent a personality, it will become tiresome over this marathonian period from getting to 3,000 hours from, technically speaking, 0. And I just don't see the point. Especially if you happen to be a working streamer such as myself, you do not have the strength to put a freaking mask on and act in the middle of the night or whenever you manage to sit down and stream. I don't think it's actually worth it. And that just brings us to the engagement part. Playing the game is good, but you should always treat the game as a conduit. Even background noise in certain cases when you're interacting with your audience. So just whenever someone comes in, try to treat that person on your chat like if they are the most important thing that can ever happen in that stream. If it means you have to redo a level or get killed or whatever in the game, then balls to it. Always try to engage as much as possible with your audience, because they are the ones who will eventually get your channel monetized. I mean, you can sweat blood and all the tears in the world if you don't have audience. So yeah, try to engage Even if you're not a talker, if someone takes the time to get on your chat, watch your stream, treat them, I'm not saying as royalty, but give them the necessary attention. And speaking of attention, analytics. The analytics tab in your dashboard is probably your best friend because it tells you exactly where you're wrong. And if you look at your analytics and certain games just don't bring in squad, your analytics will tell you. And on that part, returning viewers are even more important than the fact of how many views you get on a live stream. Because if you see more and more people coming back to your channel whenever you stream a certain game, even if it has lower numbers than any other, it's still an indicator that you are on the right path. It's not gonna be like that whenever you start streaming, you immediately get subscribers. Some people need a lot of time and a lot of convincing to actually subscribe to someone else's channel. So yeah, keep a close eye on analytics. It's really, really, really the best thing you can do to yourself. Combine that with picking the right game and you have your formula. And, it works. My example shows that it works. Sometimes it's the inconvenient truth that you have to stick with a game that's not your personal favorite. But as long as it works, you can still build on it. And you can keep all your other stuff on a separate channel. I mean, you can have as many channels on YouTube as you like. The only catch is that with one phone number, you can only verify 2 channels a year. So yeah, keep that in mind. The final thoughts on how does it work and how does it feel like? It's hard work, but there's a reward at the end of the tunnel. So yeah, keep looking for that light and don't forget to take care of yourself on your journey, because it's absolutely worthless if you break yourself in the process. It takes as long as it takes. It's not your primary occupation. And on that part, although money is nice, I would rather say that being for the fun of it. And if you happen to have the chance to monetize the channel, then good for you. But don't try to make it as a primary objective, because it just serves up disappointment over and over again whenever your streams or your YouTube shorts are not performing well enough. So yeah, like I said, take it easy. As for the future, I probably will try to go back to my old game, or games should I say, and try Assassin's Creed again prior to Assassin's Creed Mirage getting launched in October, I reckon. Yeah, I think it's October. So yeah, we'll see if I can put my own theory to test. Till then, I wish you the very best on your partnership journey, and hopefully I'll see you in the next live stream. Till then, be cool and keep on playing. And as always, peace.